I finished working at the mines after 35 years. I was quite content to be a pitman. As my father used to say, we cannot all be brain surgeons, son.
Now, if you'd been a night shift all week and you hadn't seen any sun, you hadn't seen any daylight for like a week, and the sun shined, like it was a nice day, you like wanted to go outside and can. Wow, like absorb. For some reason, you felt as if you wanted to absorb the light.
I keep saying to people, I hated that pit. I really did hate that pit. I was like a lot of lads. But you don't know what you've lost till it's gone.
Robert a bank, me canny lad, wind her away, keep toning. The backshift men are gone and yem, they'll be back here in the morning.
I was born and bred in the mining communities of Northumberland. Not so long ago, the coal mines around here were too numerous to mention. But in the 1984-85 Great Strike, we miners lost the battle for coal, and we had to stand by and watch the pits, the communities, completely demolished. Now, when I travel around these places, there's nothing left. You will never know there had been people living there or working there. This is Barrington. Us locals used to pronounce it Barnton, where I lived from the age of 6 weeks until I got married at the age of 21. As we passed by, I can still remember all the street names here. Railway Rare, Middle Rare, Chapel Rare, Office Rare. All the college streets were called rows or rares, as us used to pronounce it. Unfortunately, there's just a few people like me left who can remember where these places were. Through my paintings, I try to bring these people and places back to life as I remember them.
Robert a bank, me canny lad. Me father used to call the tolls when the long shift it was over, and gunning and by you'd hear him cry, do you know it's after 4? He'd shout, Robert a bank, me canny lad, wind her away, keep toning. The backshift men are gone and yem, they'll be back here in the morning.
My grandfather's name was John Newton, and he was killed in a roof fall at Seghill Colliery, about 3 miles away. And he was killed the same year that I was born. So my name is John Newton Dowds. I was named after a miner killed on the ground. My father was a miner, my grandfather was a miner, my great-grandfather was a miner, and you cannot get any more mining than that. And I am the last miner in my family.
My father, he was a miner for 52 years. In 1964, he died with silicosis. I had 4 brothers. There was Billy, Stan, Joe, Edward, and Alan. 2 of my brothers are now dead through mining illnesses. My other brother left the mines in 1939, joined the forces, and he was killed in Italy.
And here you have it. This is 14 Office Rare. We moved in here when I was 7 years old and stayed until I was married. There were 5 brothers, me sister and me mother and father. My father John was tall and thin. He stooped through the door when he came in. He sat down to his dinner with a pit in his eyes. Another day spent beneath blue skies.
I made this model of a colliery to help explain how a coal mine worked. The model is based on what I remember as a miner of Bates Pit in Blythe. The mine worked 3 shifts. It was like midnight till 8 o'clock in the morning. Back shift was like 8 o'clock in the morning till tea time, as we would call it. And night shift was from like 5 o'clock at night till midnight. When I was a young man, started a pit. The men weren't built like you see men today. I mean, you'll see men who are on steroids and drugs, they're all muscles and bulky. You know what I mean? Big, thick arm. When I walked a pit, the men were lean. I would describe them as they look like gypsies' dogs. Do you know what I mean? Lean, rab-boned, solid. Sometimes on the night shift, I used to think mines were a strange place to be. Things might not have gone right at home. You know, you might have had an argument or whatever was going wrong. You would be underground 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The roof would have collapsed. You would be trying to shovel wet coal onto the belt. Everything was gone wrong. Harlot's chin was lashing about. Noise, fault on the signals. You're soaking wet. Absolutely shattered. Nothing's gone right and you think, what am I doing here? Why am I here? Why have men got to do this?
The job of a miner itself was it could be a harsh taskmaster. I had an uncle killed when I was 19 at Bedlington Air Pit, and my father was his marrow working with him, so you can imagine seeing your own brother killed down a mine. But the trust you have in a fellow miner and the camaraderie, it just couldn't be beat. Couldn't be beat.
They watched my back and I watched theirs. It's instinctive. It's a funny thing to say, but it's instinctive that people do this. I'll watch your back if you watch mine. It's never said. That's never said. You just done it.
Northumbria, another large mining community. This was a huge village. This was a high street with the social club, the co-op, and other shops, and the houses run off it. And the meadows across the road from her once had streets standing there, and they all ran down towards the river. Now look at it, trees. This is Camas Colliery. It once had a community of about 4,000 or 5,000 people. Huge long streets, Bogey Chicken, Bathhouse Terrace to name 2. Now all has left the institute, a pit wheel and the pit baths. Come on, Bonnie lad, you'd better get up. I've made some tea, just have a cup. Me mother would shoot. And don't forget to lock the door on your way out. So I would slip out the door in pitch black dark and down the road and past the park. 16 years and alone in the night I thought to myself, this cannot be right. Past railway rare, half pulled down, never mind I thought I'll be there soon. Then it was past the old Wesleyan church with its glassless windows and boarded up porch. So nearer and nearer, like a moth to the flame, the pit he leads in the grown-up game. And I remembered an old man by the gate. Hurry up, young'un, or you'll be late. And I thought, an old man by the gate, was this my fate? nearly. When pit's close to uplift, it's as easy as that.
Oh, true. Aye, definitely.
Oh, it's a fact, like. It was a most desperate time, wasn't it?
The pride gans, doesn't it? You mean the pride in the village, it eventually dies.
I mean, I was putting in for jobs I could stand on my heat and I couldn't even get an interview.
Prior to the miners' strike, we knew what our job was, what our position in the house was. Knew the strike, so what 25 years is on. I didn't have it's my job to wash the dishes, I didn't have it's my job to change the nappy. You know, what roles are upside down. My wife's at working shifts.
Just
And I'm taking kids to school.
My main reversed
My did now, and I was on dirty work, but my wife went to work, and my life just turned upside down. At the finish, I was washing dishes, picking clothes out, hoovering, dusting, trying to keep the place clean.
Where's all the rares, the cries, the cool hooses, the time that's spent that everyone loses? Where's all the bellas, the gins, the ginnies, the watch-yard jocks, and the all-right hinnies? Cartwater tops, across the road netties, the scrubby stone steps and the garden tetties. These spinners are dryers of luxury goods, just blue mottle soap and big bus tubes. Nae better or worse, we were all the same. You couldn't tell the difference except for the name. And where's all the pits, the provider of all? The night shift nook and the 4-shift cal. Gone, forgotten, except for a few, looking back at the days that they knew.
When you first go down the mine, it seems like another world. The smells down the mine are peculiar. Different sorts of smells. Musky smells, like compost. Different noises in it you're not used to. Like ropes running on rollers, chains clanking, the noise of fans, the buzzing of fans, and lots of pipes and cables and dust. But you expect black dust, but it isn't black dust, it's like a plaster dust. You expect coal and pit props. You didn't expect this grey dust. It's a new environment and it's a very dangerous environment when you're forced to get in. But after a few months or a few years, the dangers disappear because you're aware of them. As another sense kicks in. Pit sense. You trust nothing. Passing a vehicle, the load slipping or sliding. You learn to keep your fingers off the side of the tube. You never put your fingers on the outside of the tube. Your fingers were always on the inside because you would have soon lost some fingers because the tubes were often catching the side, you see.
One of the worst jobs I had in the mining was taking an empty tube in, fetching a full one out. I was too light, I was only 7 stone, 8 stone then. And the weight of them tubes, even empty, I couldn't lift them. But I was an actor lifting them tubes on. But you still had to have the strength in your legs to lift them. The trouble was, my legs weren't long enough to get the tube up and onto the weir.
Robert a bank, me canny lad. Wind her away, keep toning.
Sometimes you make a happy mistake when you're painting and you cry, oh, I'll just leave that. And just this bit I'm trying to get right. This suited me taste. I want to get the impression of near dusk and pouring with rain. I try to capture what I remember from being a kid and right through to the present day now, because I feel like they've disappeared. All my paintings is from memory. You've got to have a picture in your mind to get a bit of idea what you want to put on the paper or try to put on. I think if you copy anything, it's cheating. All the pit communities were good. Most of them anyhow. The doors were always open. You could see it coming on a little bit. There's a bit to go yet. I'm quite happy with this part of the picture, but I want that piece. I'm not happy with that. The bath building itself.
For many long years now the pit's done its best, and sets have rolled out of flats north, east and west. And all of the rumours that closing was due, now they've all been put down, for alas it is true.
You always needed to be aware there was danger. Most time was when you had stone collapsed at the face, and that would be like a void in the roof, and you needed to timber the void up, right? So you'd have to pull a loose stone down, and then you would get into the void, and you would use chocks and planks and battens to build to the roof. Well, there's no support in it when you start. And you know, the front of the face, it hangs back a bit like that, like a cliff. And little bits of stone would fall, and you would be in this void, filling the cavity with timber. That was an unnerving experience, because at any moment, before you completed the timbering and pressurised the support, some more stone could come away.
I saw some bad injuries underground. I saw a few deaths as well. Bad deaths. Some of my friends. There was one young lad called Charlton. He was a lovely lad. Gentle giant. What happened was, he had to go up the back of this machine to close the machine door. You see? Or to open it, actually, it was to open it. Anyway, there was no